In a world where laughter was king.
No in a world, Jack.
What do you mean, no in a world?
It's not that kind of movie.
Oh? Okay. In a land that...
No in a land either.
In a time...
I don't think so.
In a land before time.
It's about a comedian, Jack.
One man.
No.
When your life is no longer your own.
What does that mean?
When everything you know is wrong.
That's wrong.
In an outpost.
No.
On the edge of space.
There's no space.
A girl.
No.
Two girls.
No.
Now.
No.
More than ever.
Stop it.
A renegade cop.
I hate you.
A robot renegade cop.
You're fired.
You're fired.
No, you're actually fired.
I'm fired.
Get out of the booth, Jack.
No, I like it in here.
It's good to see you. I must go. I know I will go.
Hold him. Now you listen to me, you hillbilly punk who thinks the world's still round. I'm here to tell you it's not. It's flat.
He's an interesting guy, man, and you know, he believes it. So, Kyrie, the Earth is flat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, whatever.
That's news.
That's news. Here we go.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
The wicked ones obviously under heavy Masonic influence.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship, currently winning the war with the mainstream scientific community. Meanwhile, the Peanut Gallery is searching for the hidden time machine since science now says Allied World War II bombings disturbed the atmosphere at the edge of space. Guess this will be the new global warming excuse. Whatever. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman and Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Check it out at enclosedworld.com, or just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, well, you're not very good at the internet. For those of you listening to this on YouTube, you want to hear the show live as it happens, please go to Truth Frequency Radio for the latest schedule. Currently, this show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And yes, Caroline, if it is not September 25th, 2018, you are listening to a rerun. Quote of the day from the Peanut Gallery goes a little something like this. If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear. Who said that? That was George Orwell, who was, again, one of my favorite guys, who I put a quote of his in the description box of every video that I make. The Mark Sargent 2018 Flat Earth Challenge is in effect. This is my personal declaration of war from Flat Earth against mainstream science. I, Mark Sargent, hereby put forth a challenge to any university, foreign or domestic, to loan me a NASA-approved, self-contained spacesuit. Not that tethered junk. Put me in a vacuum chamber and pull the switch. Find out if I live or die. For information on this, please check out Flat Earth Clues number 13, The Lost Nail. Tonight is going to be a call-in show, and we've already got some people waiting, so let me get out the numbers real quick. It's 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998, or 720-897-6111. If you're in the UK, don't forget your country code, then dial 44203-393-2871. And if you just want to call and listen, and you don't want to talk to me, and you don't even want to see me there, you can dial 605-472-9131. Announcements, a couple quick ones, nothing too lengthy. I'm not going to read any articles tonight. First, of course, is the conference coming up. I believe it's about 7 weeks from now. FE2018.com. It is the Denver in November to remember. I don't actually know the order that should be in, but it is the Denver conference, the biggest one of the year in the United States in Denver, Colorado, coming up. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, go to FE2018.com. Everybody who's anyone's going to be there. Seriously, it's all the cool kids are going to be there, so you should be there too. A couple quick thank yous to everyone that supported the United States premiere of Behind the Curve, the documentary in Los Angeles, California. All the people that were outside, I'm not going to give all the names out for the people that were outside. You know who you are. You can check that out if you get a chance. Although I should mention, Dan and Nathan and others. But the people that were inside as well, Caroline and Travis and Josh, and can't forget Sydney, who decided she was going to yell at the audience at the end because, as you know, Behind the Curve is not a pro-Flat Earth movie. It's not necessarily, again, people say, oh, it's a hit piece. No, it is not a hit piece. You want to see a hit piece, wait until something from Scientific American or Discovery or, I don't know, Popular Mechanics, or take your pick. There's going to be some hit pieces on this thing. This was not one of those. It was globalist-centered, to be sure. And I warn everybody out ahead of time, which is if you've been in the community for longer than 3 months, you're not going to like it. Period. You're not going to like it because it is not a Flat Earth victory movie. We haven't won the war yet. We're working on it, but it's not a victory celebration movie. It is from both sides. They have a scientist and an engineer and a psychologist, and they come at us a little bit. And do they take shots at globebusters? Yes, they do. Do they take shots at Jeranism? Yep, they do. Would it be fair to say that they edited in a clever manner? Yes, but at the same time, I still think it was fair. This movie does one thing and one thing only for the Flat Earth community, and that is it puts the seed in people's heads. Are people going to walk out of the theaters saying, thinking about Flat Earth? Yes, they will. It is way too interesting a topic not to, and I have seen a whole bunch of people so far watch it and talk about it. So again, if you're going to put your, and the reason I'm mentioning this is that on top of all the film festivals that have been announced, I think we're in 9, I think 10 is coming up here pretty soon in multiple countries. And if you can check this out at behindthecurvefilm.com, I have all those film festivals aside, it is going to be released. They found a distributor. I'm not going to say who it is, in fact, because I don't really know who it is. I could take a guess, but I'm not going to. So will it come out in streaming? Probably. Will it come out on DVD? Yes, probably. Will it get theatrical release? I don't know, but people are going to see it. And if you're in the community, I know everyone in the community is going to watch it, brace yourself. Because it's an honest look at us. We had some failed experiments in 2017, no question. We still have dissension in the ranks. We still have infighting, and all that stuff is there. So take it. When I watch it, I knew what I was getting into. I was there for 75% of the shooting. It's an honest look at what we were doing in 2017. Can we do better? Yes, we can. Will we do better? Yes, we will. We've gotten much bigger since then, much more detailed, and there's the documentaries that are going to follow this. This is only the first one. There will be multiple ones that are following. I know this because they've all been calling, saying, "Oh yeah." I mean, I know for a fact there's one from Britain that's firing up. There's one from Canada, 2 from the United States that are going to follow this. Will they paint us in a more favorable light? I don't know. Maybe. But this one had to be made like this. So there you go. There's my little rant. And I will review some of the stuff later. What else, real quick? I mentioned this kind of on a side note. If you haven't checked it out already, Paul on the Plane has created an MTV clone known as FETV, Flat Earth Music Television. So check it out. There's got to be pushing 300 tracks on this thing already. Some good songs. So if you want to listen to Flat Earth music in the background, you don't want to worry about watching for content or anything like that, check it out. Go to Paul on the Plane and check just type in FETV. It's easy to find, and the logo looks really familiar to the one from the early 80s. So that's about it on the announcements. Let's get right to the phone calls, shall we? Let's pick up 254 to start us off. 254, you're on with Strange World. What's happening?
What's up, Mark?
Hey, what's going on?
How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good. It was exciting to watch the live stream of the unveiling of everything in LA. That was great.
And you know what? You know what else was cool was that particular film festival premiere sold out, which is unusual for a documentary. It sold out days in advance, and it was tough to get tickets. They had a waiting line on the side of the building, like a standby line, which I
know.
Yeah, so I was happy again that it look, and again I'm mixed because I know that the Flat Earth community is going to be upset with it for the most part, but at the same time, it's going to be more fuel to the fire. Is it going to be controversial? Yes, it will. Will it add some drama? Yes, it will. There will be people that will take this DVD and they will edit it, they will re-edit it, they will take segments out of it, and it'll be all over YouTube in various forms. I don't blame them. I didn't, Go ahead.
Even bad publicity is good publicity.
I know.
So they say. So.
It is, but
I'm not gonna harp on that issue. I mean, I know it is what it is, right. And it is a documentary done by people that are not flat earthers. So
right.
That's cool. It's good that it was done.
Yeah.
But I did want to call and
go ahead.
I wanted to mention something to you that my husband's a gamer, and I know you used to be a gamer.
Oh, I still game, honey. Don't make any.
Okay.
I'm still gaming.
So good.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Fallout?
Sorry, what is it?
Fallout?
Fallout. Are you kidding? Fallout 3 is probably my favorite overall game of all time.
Okay, so are you familiar with Big Mountain?
Yes, I'm familiar with Big Mountain.
The add-on package, Okay, well, where they have the robot heads. It's just like their heads.
Yeah, sure.
Going around.
Yeah.
Well, my husband was playing the other day, and one of those robot heads said to another one, which he couldn't go back and get it to say it again, but they were like, "Man, you got to get yourself together. We're starting to look like round earthers."
No. No, it didn't
yes.
Wow.
Totally.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. Well, okay,
yes.
Now is this Fallout? Was this Fallout 3 or is this the new Fallout?
It's Fallout 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Fallout 3. I played that thing. Or is it
Fallout? It could be New Vegas.
Oh yeah, New Vegas is top notch. I love. I mean, I'm not kidding you. It is so beautifully bleak. It's the color palettes are amazing. I just love it. It's just so gritty. Really, really love it. I mean, Warcraft. If I've never got married, but if Warcraft was my wife, Fallout would be my mistress. I had a good mistress at that. So. Anyway, anything else I can do for you?
I don't know if it's 3 or it may be Vegas because there's the add-on package you can buy where you can go to Big Mountain. You can like warp to these 3 different places.
Right. I got every expansion and every mod and every homemade expansion that there was. My favorite of all time was the Mothership Zeta expansion. I just love that thing. I just thought it was a fantastic. Anyway, I don't want to get into it too much.
When you go up in like the alien ship, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Anyway,
you take over the. There was an. It doesn't really. I don't want to get into it too. It's too long a story, but yeah, check if you haven't checked out the Mothership Zeta package. Check that one out. But yeah, Fallout 3, top, wonderful game.
I just wanted to give you that little nugget, but also I wanted to say the other day, I tried to call in and tell you because y'all were talking about scary movies and stuff. Right. And what was your like worst movie that like really messed with you ever in your life?
Friday the 13th, the very first one, late 70s, because I was so young. I saw it in the theater, and that was before the jump scares were really overdone. It was the first one where he comes out of the water at happy music's playing. It totally blindsided you, and I didn't sleep for 3 days. I wasn't old enough to own guns, so I slept with weapons around my bed for 3 days, and I hardly slept. It was a freaking basket case. It's a good thing I didn't.
That's awesome.
Which one?
I wanted to share with you. Mine was Event Horizon.
Oh, that was a dark, twisted tale. Absolutely, Lawrence Fishburne, great movie.
That scared the crap out of me. I was like, why would you even want to go to space after seeing that? If space existed.
Well, it mixed sort of like space with the occult. It's like, what if you found a gateway to hell, next to this planet? And it's like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, once you get past that part, it's like, oh yeah, it is really scary. But it was done very, very well. I liked Event Horizon a lot. It was very different.
It was like, done well, but still scary as shit.
I agree. Cool. Well, any shout outs, because unfortunately I've got a full deck lined up behind you.
You're trying to talk me, Angie. Okay. My mother-in-law is sitting here with me. She actually wanted to call in tonight, and she lost her gumption. She's sitting here. She's been listening to you for like 2 years.
Well, what's her name? What's her name?
Her name is Angie Honey.
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
Angie.
Hello, Angie. Thank you so much for listening over the last 2 years. I don't think I could have done it without you.
Like she's got Wi-Fi and she just streams your channel. She's listening to every show you've ever done.
That's so nice. And by the way, tell her to stop calling me so late at night. It's not appropriate. It's not appropriate in the slightest.
And she said she really enjoyed your speech in, I think, Canada.
Oh, it was Canada.
Awesome. Oh, she's talking. She said she almost cried listening to your speech.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I didn't sleep before I did that speech. I was kind of amped up for that one. But thank you for that. So, anyway, I hate to do this.
My mother-in-law.
Thank you. I will if she ever gets the gumption. I'm not saying she has to do it tonight, but definitely have her call in. Angie, I don't know what you're doing. 2 years is too long. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I want to hear it from you. All right. Anyway, I got to run, but you guys have a good evening. Okay.
All right. You too, Mark.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, we're going to jump straight over to 214. 214, you're on with Strange World right now. What's up?
Oh, hey, it's Scott in Dallas. And I was going to, I was talking about, doing the information, the FOIA request and all that stuff. And I talked to another buddy of mine who's hardcore into doing a lot of research and those type of information requests and all this stuff. And he said that, they submitted a lot to various agencies, and the world's worst is NASA, naturally.
Right.
So, because what they'll do is they'll just shove it off over to Air Force, and then they'll just stamp it national security. But what was really telling is he knew a guy that was in Canada, and since NASA is tied in with all these different countries, that the guy in Canada could send the same information request to one of the agencies in Canada, and they would answer them. And I thought, well, that's a little crack in the door there somehow. So, as I was kind of just pilfering around, I pulled down NASA's kind of like policies and procedures type thing, and dug in and found the National Aeronautics and Space Act of 1958 as amended. So I thought, since we can't really get any answers out of these jackasses because they're hiding everything so well, I thought, well, how does a person kind of get to these guys? Because I'm all about being proactive instead of reactive, like that actor, they're plugging the hole in the space station up there and all that stuff. And so, I came across one section here. It was the cost limitations for the International Space Station. And I thought, this is kind of interesting. So in section 1, subsection A, cost of the International Space Station may not exceed $25 billion. That's with a B.
Wow.
And launch of a space shuttle cost with in connection with the assembly to the internet. I'm reading it right from their little document right here. The assembly of the International Space Station may not exceed $17.7 billion.
Wow.
And I thought, well, since how is it the best way to get to these guys? And I figured we might as well just make fun of them and just make fun of them so bad that they have to react to, justify this outrageous amount of money that they're just throwing into this black hole.
Right.
So I thought that would be a good way to kind of go about it and just really dog them on that. It's like, are we really getting our money's worth for $25 billion? I mean, come on, that's laughable in its own sense.
Yep.
And then, so I thought that was kind of interesting just to kind of point that out. And then, another thing is, for me, I'm kind of like big on words. So, once you kind of really focus in on this stuff, all of a sudden you start looking at like around the world or going around the globe, and I'm striking those type of words straight out of my lexicon. And, I was like, no, it's planet, Earth, and all this other stuff. Right. And so these are just kind of different ways to kind of drive the narrative, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then I'll call in on certain talk shows, and I know these guys are anti-flat Earth big time. I mean, because I've heard other people call in, and as soon as they say something about flat Earth, they got that knee-jerk reaction. Oh, you're just a conspiracy theory, and hang up on them. Well, number one, conspiracy is not a theory; it's a crime.
Right.
So I like to make that point straight up. But what I started doing is started telling these guys, it's like, hey, y'all believe in math, right? Well, yeah. Then you throw out the formula for the curvature of the Earth and relate it to like the rate of fall. So there's a reference point to kind of go off of. Okay. So now that you have that, then you start saying, because I brought up the guy that was the missile launch test guy that you interviewed a long time back, where they were painting ships 50 miles across the water. And so I said, well, how is it that a active Navy missile instructor can paint a target across the water, ship to ship, with a laser? And immediately you just watch the reaction. Oh, that guy's just lying, and then just hang up. But it's planting the seed out there to the other people that are listening, going like, because I tell them, it's like, hey, I'm ex-military, man. I was Air Force, dude. Right. You're sitting here following the wrong dude. And so once you start kind of putting this stuff out there, and never mention flat Earth, but put the formulas out there where they can't deny it.
Okay. So, nice.
Those are just some things to kind of, to workarounds on some of this stuff to, number one, like I say, make fun of NASA. $25 billion. They're launching these supposed space shuttles for $17.7 billion. I mean, that's just hilarious.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Hey, well, thank you for that. That's fantastic stuff. And do call in again soon, okay?
Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, let's jump over. Last call before the first break will be 651. 651, you're on with Strange World. What is going on?
I dialed the wrong number. What am I, an idiot?
Is this Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future?
Okie dokie, boss.
That's actually not a bad imitation. That's not bad at all.
Well, of course it's not. It's West States Flat Earth News Talk. How are you doing? And I'm not even going to do our little thing.
No, you're not? All right.
Yeah,
well,
okay, wait for it.
Oh, my Lord,
No.
Wes. No, seriously. I mean, but believe it or not, the impressions will get you around, I think, the restraining order for a little while, because I don't know it's actually you. And but you have Leon in the background. There's a little bit of that echo going, and that's Rookie. That's JB.
Yeah,
Ball
just
right
a
there.
little bit. I got to get that. I got to turn that down just a wee bit. Yeah, normally I have it down, but your whole talking today was just so riveting. I had to turn it up a little.
Really? Was that
How's that for kissing up to the boss, huh?
Whatever. Okay. Well, I'm not the boss of anything. Okay. I am merely the tour guide for this little train.
Yeah.
Although it's
just
not
the guy
very,
pointing. And,
Yeah.
and over here on the left.
That's pretty much it. That's advanced map making. Oh,
no, I was just
it's the music department.
Yeah, I called into Paul on the plane. Poor bastard. He tried to hook me up, but he couldn't do it. I was sitting there with my guitar. I was ready to play my Folsom Prison globalist blues.
Right.
And he missed it. He missed it.
Yeah.
But anyhow, bummer. So how you been?
I've been pretty good. Just kind of, slowly but surely getting ready for the rest of there might be 2 film festivals that I'm attending. One's north of Seattle in Bellingham. There might be another one in Seattle, but they haven't announced that one yet. But I'm going to be speaking at the one in Bellingham. They actually asked me to come up on stage and talk about this one. So it's like, okay, that ought to be fun. It's, me doing Q&A to a globalist crowd. That's going to be a little different. And then after that, getting ready for Denver. And, but I didn't even mention this, by the way. I'll mention this because I've got you on.
Commercial time.
Well, they just announced it, which was there's going to be a debate. So Rob Skiba is going to be debating Robert Sungenis, who the guy that directed The Principal and who wrote the book Flat Earth, Flat Wrong just recently. And so they're going to be debating on stage at the fe2018.com. Now they're going to have to adjust the schedule. So the 2-day schedule that you have in front of you, they're going to have to change that. But to make way for whatever's happening here. I don't know who's doing what, but that is confirmed. It actually is going to happen. So anyway, with 20 seconds left, say something. I don't know, something.
I don't know.
I love that you're doing that and you're still doing Transformers thing at the same time. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
The Blair West Project rears its ugly head. All right, man. Hey, we'll talk soon, okay? All right. Don't go anywhere.
All right, later, guys.
Okay. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
You're listening to Truth Frequency Radio.
We are TFR.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 2 of 4. It is a call-in show, and we have a few lined up. But the number to call in is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. A couple quick little things. First off, tomorrow I am going to be doing the Secret Show with Patricia Steer on Flat Earth and other hot potatoes. We are going to be going over nominations for the Flatties Award, which will be happening at the Denver conference. We've already got the categories more or less, but we are going to have to take nominees and then we'll figure them out from there. Also, even though we're a month and a week out, the Flatoween show, which will be on Halloween, October 31st. What will Mark and Patricia be wearing? Who knows? And what will you be doing that night? Also don't know. What was the other thing? Oh, right. Peanut Gallery looked up that quote from Fallout, which the nice woman mentioned to me. And the quote is, "What is this, a high school science fair? Get your act together. You're making us look like a collection of round earthers." And the character name was Dr. Klein from Fallout New Vegas, the Old World Blues expansion. How's that for detailed? Right now, you're gonna say, "Oh no, they're reacting to flat earthers." No. This Old World Blues thing was before we got involved. Fallout 3 had been around for a number of years, as it still aged very, very well, though. Almost makes me want to reinstall it. All right, let's get right to the phones, shall we? Let's go to 954 area code 954. You're on with Strange World right now.
Hi, Mark. This is Elaine.
Hi, Elaine.
Hi, I'm calling from Pembroke Pines, Florida.
Hey.
The Miami Fort Lauderdale area.
Cool. What's on your mind this evening?
Well, I just wanted to tell you, I wrote you an email with saying Patricia told me to write you. I still can't get registered on enclosedworld.com.
You can't?
I never get it.
All right. I will make sure that the webmaster of enclosedworld.com hears this little recording, and he will deal with it promptly, I'm sure. Send me an email one more time, and we'll I don't want to give out your last name over the thing, so just send me an email with all your details, and I will shoot it off to him. Okay.
Okay, I appreciate that, and I just wanted to tell you that about a week ago, my book on Flat Earth went live on Amazon.
Oh, cool!
And it's the title is Flat Earth for Dummies 101. I had a ball writing it.
I see what you did there.
But the first one I got in there, I got to tell you, it's Captain Kirk and Spock. And Captain Kirk says to Spock.
That's awesome. That's great.
I'm so happy that you picked up my call. I want you to know that, and I put this in the book, that you are the reason that I became a flat earther. I listened to your interview on Coast to Coast AM.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
I think it was last fall. And so I thought, I'm going to research this. And so I did. I got lots of books, and I subscribed to YouTube Red. I understand it's YouTube Premium now. And so I started watching all these videos. And it was driving my husband crazy. And I said, you know what? I don't know how to make a video. I've only made cat videos. But the one thing I can do is write. So I said, I'm going to write a book on Flat Earth, going to the Denver conference, where my son and his wife, and my 3 grandchildren live.
Nice. That's great.
So is that cool or what?
Wonderful. I am glad that you wrote a Flat Earth book, and I'm glad that you're part of the community, and happy to have you.
Oh, well, thank you very much, and I want to personally thank you for bringing me into Flat Earth.
You're very welcome. I couldn't have done it without everybody else that's out there. You know, it's a team effort, definitely. Yeah, I am merely a guy standing in front of a lot of buildings that all say flat Earth on the side.
Well, I watched all of the videos on the conference in Canada, and I thought that all of the speeches were really good, and I really enjoyed hearing your challenges and everything at the beginning of your speech. I thought that was really cool.
Thank you. I again trying to get the scientific community fired up to where they can actually organize a defense, because right now we're running unopposed, which is fine and everything, but I want to give them fair warning before we take over the world. Anyway, I'd love to talk to you all evening, but unfortunately there's a whole bunch of calls I got to grab. So we will talk soon, okay?
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Mark.
All right, have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, let's grab 310 area code. Let's jump right into it. 310, you're on with Strange World. 310, don't make me say it. Oh, don't make me say it, because you got the mute button on. And I'm going to give you like 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2. Sorry, he goes back on mute. Rookie mistake, and you hate to see it unless you were just listening, in which case you should have called the other number. But either way, we're fine. Jumping over to 206, probably my neck of the woods. 206 area code. You're now on Strange World. So what's happening with you? You don't have your mute button on. I can tell that already. Oh, but you got it playing in the background. JV ball. Come on, turn that down. 206, you're listening to
Hey,
me.
Mark.
You're killing me. And you still have it on. Turn it down. Yeah. Hey, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
I am good. What is going on?
Hey, man. I totally dig what you're doing.
Thanks.
And I'm in Kirkland, Washington, so I'm kind of in your neck of the woods.
Right on.
Yeah. Hey, I just, I've been doing a backlog of watching some of your, previous broadcasts over the last couple of years. Came to Flat Earth about a year ago, and I saw one about the eclipse that happened about a year ago.
Sure. I was there for the eclipse.
That you did. Yeah. And so I had a couple questions that came up, and I wanted to run it by you. I'm glad I got you on the horn.
Sure. We got.
Well, basically, 2 questions. Number one, you talked about the sun dimming itself, right?
Right.
And as it's doing the eclipse. And so my 2 questions. Number one, if the sun, is on its circuit from the east to the west, I'm Seattle, so I'm in the West Coast.
Right.
Why would the eclipse go from west to east?
Oh, yeah. Don't get me started on that one. We had, I can't remember who I think it was the New Yorker. So a pretty big media group did one of those questions, and they were talking about, they were talking to NASA engineers. No one could explain it. You're absolutely right. Why did the eclipse go in the opposite direction of the sun? I mean, among other things, on top of being too small, the eclipse shadow for the moon's 2,000 miles wide, and the blackout zone was only 70 miles wide.
Right.
And why was it going in the opposite direction? No question. But yeah, you're absolutely right. In fact, I will see if you can. Oh boy, it was a while ago. It was just before the eclipse. There was I cannot remember. Maybe Peanut Gallery can find it for me. The video. Let's see if he can find it real quick. He can explain it. No, I'm not. He's not going to explain it. But yeah, no, I don't have an explanation of why it went in the opposite direction, and neither does science. In fact, the animation that they used was completely wrong. They said that the moon was circling around at this huge rate of speed. It's like, no. The moon circles the Earth once every 29 days. So what are you talking about? Why do you have this animation where the moon is just doing, huge RPMs around this thing? So good one. Good one. In fact, I may have to dig up that old video just to make sure, because it was great to watch.
Hey, it'd be cool. Yeah, it'd be cool to get the answer to that. And then the other side of the question is,
yeah,
how did they know ahead of time that this eclipse would happen?
Oh, that actually is pretty easy, because if you believe in the sun and the moon paths, and everybody's got to, it's just a giant clock system. So every once in a while, the moon is going to pass in front of the sun, whether it's a flat Earth or a geocentric or a heliocentric model. The sun and the moon are going to, even though it still seems a little strange that they would pass right in front of, the moon would pass right in front of the sun, and it fits perfectly in front of it. It's 400 times more narrow than the sun, but it's 400 times closer than the sun. An amazing coincidence. So.
Okay. Hey, maybe I heard wrong. I thought you said the sun actually dimmed itself.
No. Well, that wasn't your question. Your question was, how did they know the eclipse was going to happen? Meaning the science knows because that's part of the clock system. But when the moon.
Right. But if the moon, the question is the sun was dimming itself.
Right. What is the moon doing?
Then it wasn't. Then it sounds like the moon's not involved.
No, the moon isn't involved. It is just it'd be no difference, and I'm going to use the planetarium excuse again here. When the moon in a planetarium, you would show objects getting to a certain point, but then you don't have those objects go in front of the other object because it doesn't make sense. You would just change the properties of said object. So, waxing and waning crescents of the moon. That was the part that threw me until I saw it, and Mike Helmick did a great video on it. He was the one that called me and said, just so you know, there's nothing eclipsing the sun. And I go, what are you talking about? He goes, there's no three-dimensional object that's eclipsing the sun. I've broken down the photos. He goes, it's eclipsing itself. It's like it's self-dimming. And I go, oh, of course it is. Because in a planetarium, the moon self-dims. The moon, in a planetarium, we can create the waxing and waning crescents and all that other fun stuff. But you're just changing the light properties of the moon. We never think about it on the sun because it's always the sun. We never have a quarter sun and a half sun and a crescent sun. It's always just the sun, the full sun. And then when you see it, it's like, oh, why wouldn't it be just like the moon? One light, you're not going to use completely different properties for a light for the light system in the same area. You just use dimmer lights, if that makes a better analogy, kind of, hopefully.
I see. So the moon did pass in front of the sun, then that's how they knew.
No, well, technically the moon was in the area, but when it got to where the sun was, no, the sun was just self-dimming. The moon, who knows? Maybe the moon went transparent at that point. Don't know. But all the pictures that we looked at showed that there was no three-dimensional object in front of that light source. It was like the light source was just shutting off part of it, like an iron piece in front of a bright light to where nothing can get around it.
I see. Well, I was up in Seattle when it happened, and I saw a partial dimming.
Right. Well, you were close.
But not where you were.
No.
Yeah, you went down to Salem.
I went down to Salem, and I got to tell you, the difference between 90% and 100% is amazing. You haven't seen anything until it gets to 98, and then 99. It's just amazing. Because the sun is so bright that most of the United States was in the partial eclipse. But the blackout zone, again, not to belabor the point, but the blackout zone being only 70 miles wide was one of those giveaways, because we say that the sun and the moon are only about 50 miles wide. So a 70-mile wide shadow, that works pretty well for us. Let's explain how a 2,000-mile wide shadow shrinks down to 70 miles.
Yeah, no, I get that, man. Yeah. Hey, one little other question is, how far away from the sun, or how far away from the Earth do you think the sun really is then?
Take your pick.
Like how many miles?
If it's inside or outside the firmament, I don't know, anywhere between 1,500 and 3,000, maybe, give or take.
Okay.
We're never going to be able to know for sure.
Not
going to be able to know for sure. The bigger question is it inside the structure or is it outside the structure? That's the bigger question.
Yeah, that's a big question. I kind of think it's inside, but hey, just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, I appreciate everything you're doing, and if you're ever in the Bellevue, Kirkland area, man, it'd be great to buy you a couple of wines or whatever you want, and shoot the breeze.
Got it. Thank you. All right, you have a good
buddy. Thanks a lot.
Evening. Bye-bye. All right, let's jump over to 479 area code. 479, you're on with Strange World.
Good evening, Mark. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. This is Randy from Bentonville.
Hey, what's happening?
Oh, not much, man. So, a couple things tonight. Have you experienced anyone talking about flat Earth and them just not caring? Like, I mean, I've dealt with people that they think it's crazy. They think, you're completely off your rocker. And I get that. And I've dealt with people that, well, hey, that could be. But I'm running into a lot of people that just legitimately don't care.
Right.
And that, I think that perplexes me more than anything. It's like, well, why would you not care about the world we live in where, we've been lied to, everything else? But there seems to be a common trend with people is that they just don't seem to care.
I've run into people that say they don't care, but most of them fall into two categories. One, and I'll just throw my sister into the mix for this one, is that they're too busy with their daily lives. Their daily lives are stressful enough that they can't add anything else to it that adds more stress. That's the first group. The other group, they're just in denial. And I've seen that more often than not, which is they say, they're the same ones that say, well, why does it matter? It doesn't matter. So if it's flat or if it's a globe, who cares, right? I say, well, it doesn't matter because you don't believe it. Right up until the point, you can say that all you want, but the second you believe it, you care a lot. You could say, oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's not going to affect my life. Of course, it'll affect your life. The second, we've seen it time and time and time again. The second you believe it, then all of a sudden you walk outside and you start looking around, and the sun and the moon look different, and the stars look different, and everything looks different. The sky looks different, and your perception of the powers that be look different. So that I see a whole bunch, and I just tell them the same thing. It's like, yeah, you just don't care because you don't believe it. You're not even going to entertain the idea. The second meaning they're not even going to look at it, which is fine. Again, the 5 stages: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then finally acceptance. And yeah, and some people do get stuck in denial. You'll know when they start looking at it, because then they'll go to anger almost immediately, which is, how dare you tell me the world isn't what I think it is, and you're wrong. You're wrong. You're an idiot. You're a retard. You're a moron. It's like, okay, well, it's in your head. I can let you go now, and you're going to come back with questions, and it's going to just keep rattling around for a long time. So no, if they say they don't care, they're just in denial. Period. They just don't want to look at it because for whatever reason, either they're too busy, too stressed, or it's just too big for them. You can remember, if it is true, it's this topic is so massive, it supersedes every other topic that's out there, every other interest. It's bigger than your company, it's bigger than your country, it's bigger than any secret society. So yeah, They just don't know what to do with it. They just can't absorb it. Bit off more than they could chew, type of thing. So how's that?
Oh no, I definitely understand. Like, I've got a buddy of mine. He is so dead set against flat Earth, but he will send me stuff from time to time, like, hey, look, this proves that the Earth is a globe, and it's like, well, no, and you explain it to him, and well, I just showed you proof, and it's like, no,
and that's fine.
He sent me a thing today on Dr. Kent Hovind's Divide and Conquer the Flat Earth, and I'm like,
right.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and by the way, if they're sending you stuff, it's in their head. You don't have to worry about them. Seriously, anybody that comes at you, every other week and says, I got 3 questions or I got 3 things, I'm pretty sure will knock out the flat Earth. And it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. Let me take a look at those. And if you don't even have to respond half the time, because they know full well when they're sending it, they're just hoping it'll shut you down. And it's amazing to just see. I get those all the time from people. There'll be people calling in tonight. I'm expecting a call from a guy who I hope he calls in every week, who tries to send me stuff via phone every week and tries to come up with things.
Yep. It shows that it's in their head.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, another thing. So the Bentonville, Arkansas Flat Earth Meetup, which is happening this Saturday.
Okay.
At Chipotle at 7:00 p.m. We've gotten more and more responses from it. I've been emailed from people all the way from Oklahoma saying, hey, we're showing up to this. So anyone out there who is looking to put on a Flat Earth Meetup, they do exist and they will get responses. So.
Right.
But that's what impressed me more than anything was the fact that, wow, there really are other people out there close by that are, just kind of in the closet or that you don't know about. One girl, she reached out and said, hey, I'm definitely going to be there. And I'm almost certain that she goes to my church. And I'm like, oh, hey. So it's
Peanut Gallery
you
says,
never know.
who from Oklahoma?
That I would have to go back and
Yeah,
check
no,
the
it's
emails.
all right.
Actually, I don't. Yeah.
He goes, says there's only
I
like
don't-
5 people in the entire state. That's not true. I think there's more than 5 people in Oklahoma. I do. The tornadoes didn't get all of them. Anyway, any shout outs? Because unfortunately I do have to, it's a call-in show. So I do have to take some other calls.
No, yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
All right.
No,
Have fun at your Bentonville thing. Bentonville, I'm sorry, give the date and time one more time.
September 29th. It's this Saturday. Time is 7 p.m. at Chipotle.
Right
in
on.
Bentonville.
Right on. That sounds great, man.
All right, man. We'll see you.
Okay, see ya. All right, so let's grab 864. 864, you're on with Strange World right now. Probably the last call before halftime.
Hey, Mark.
Hey.
I wanted to talk to you tonight about gravity. How long do you have?
Well, you got about 4 minutes so before the break. What do you want to talk about?
I think we can do this in 4. Okay, let me just make sure I got my facts right. So flat earthers don't deny the effects of gravity, but they just think there's another cause of those effects, correct?
It's not necessarily split down the middle. It could be either. There are some people in flat earth, sort of like the dome versus no dome theory, which is gravity a magical molecular magnetic force that's very similar to what science says? Again, science can only tell you the symptoms of it. It can't tell you how it happens. It can only tell you what it does. Or is it tied to density? Meaning and that actually goes along with the dome, which is, okay, if we are in some sort of pressurized system like a sports stadium, then it's kind of like water where things rise and sink, because remember, we're not breathing in nothing. We're breathing in 4 parts nitrogen to 1 part oxygen. So in which case, though, even then, you're still going to need some gravity, even if it is based on buoyancy. It can't just be all buoyancy. So it could be a mix of the two. But how's that for the summary?
Well, all right, first off, which camp do you fall in? The flat motionless Earth, or the one where it's rising like a tower?
No. Almost no one believes in that rising junk, that 9 meters per second thing. Because remember, at that point, you're talking about space again. That you've got this disc flying through space. It's like no. It's a domed structure. It's a building sitting somewhere, but it's not moving. That's what I subscribe to.
Okay, good. I just heard about that one myself probably a couple of weeks ago. All right, so I do have to ask you, have you ever seen the experiment where a bowling ball and a feather are put into a vacuum chamber?
Sure.
And then they fall at the same rate?
Yep. Seen it.
Because you've removed the inertia so the feather can fall just like the bowling ball, like it's a lead.
Yeah.
Right?
At that point, there's nothing in the chamber, so there's no nitrogen and oxygen buffering the feather. Yes.
Okay, so mainstream science would say that it's moving. Those things fall at a rate of 9.8 meters per second squared due to space-time manipulation of mass, right? Like a fat guy in the middle of the trampoline.
Okay.
So here's my question though. So from a flat Earth perspective, you've got buoyancy and density as the cause of the effect. Well, it's the cause of the effects that we see that we call gravity, right?
Right.
Okay. So why exactly would objects of different densities fall down and hit the ground?
If there's no density in the chamber, you're absolutely right, which is why I'm not a density guy. I believe in the molecular magnet. That's what I believe in, that there's
a molecular magnet. See, that's actually, okay, see, I've been going through down the rabbit hole all week trying to figure this out. I got to be honest with you. I'm sure you're probably wondering what my stance is. And I've got probably everything except for like my right arm in the flat Earth pool.
Okay.
So I'm still.
You got 30 seconds, by the way, but better do it quick.
Okay. So essentially, you're saying that objects of varying degrees of density, if they're kind of in the same kind of range, they would attract each other due to electromagnetic attraction. Is that right?
Possibly, although they can't duplicate it down here. Unfortunately, we're going to go to the music. Look up something called a physics engine if you get a chance. It's kind of tied to the whole double slit experiment simulation thing. Hey, buddy, thanks for calling and coming in again, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Truth Frequency Radio is your number.
You must unite what has been set asunder.
We are TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
Major Kong. Major Kong. Primary target the ICBM complex at Laputa. Switch all receiver circuits to CRM discriminators. What's cooking on the threat board? Nothing. Alright, tell you what you better do, old buddy. You better give Elmo and Charlie a flash, man. Bump everything up to condition ready. Stand by the core on your base. Major Kong. Major Kong. Hey, what about Major Kong?
Clear and plain and coming through fine.
What about
It's great to be fine.
What about Major
What happened? You see the string in my leg, Scar.
What about Major
I never told you.
Hey, what about Major Kong?
Welcome back to Strange World Part 3 of 4. We're doing a call-in show, and we're going to pick up some people. Who are we going to pick up? You know what? Let's pick up 980 area code. 980, you are on with Strange World right now. Are you there?
I am here. Are you there?
I'm not all here. Let's be honest. I'm not. I'm a few cans short of a six-pack. That helps. And I don't mean that in the Hoary Sheet Show way, where he's actually drinking the cans. So he said, "Yeah, I know, right?" That was for you, Hoary, in case you're still listening. We'll find out. So I imagine you're calling because you want to clarify the guy that was calling. I saw you come in on one of the other things, and you're going, no. the guy that was saying, so the moon does go in front of the sun. It's like, no, it doesn't go in front of the sun. What?
Yes.
What?
Yeah. Okay. The shadow for the eclipse was going the right way. Everybody thinks, oh, why is the shadow going from left to right? That's the right way for the shadow to be going because the sun moves faster than the moon.
Oh.
Okay. So the sun is lapping the moon, basically. That's what's happening.
Oh.
So over the course of a few hours, the sun starts on one side and then goes to the other side. So it's not really the moon occulting the sun. It's the sun going behind the moon, really.
Yeah.
Sort of.
All right.
Is a better way to think about it. So the shadow should be going from left to right. That's the right direction. That's why this was never like a really strong argument against the heliocentric model.
Oh no, I didn't care about that. I thought it was more interesting.
No, I know.
That the New Yorker.
A lot of people.
Oh, a lot of people jumped on that.
Well, a lot of people think, oh, well, the eclipse doesn't work on the globe Earth because it's going the wrong direction, but that's not true. It's going there. That's the right way. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Cool. No, and I'm sure that was fine. Here's why I wasn't worried about it. One is most people out there aren't three-dimensional thinkers. Like, for example, I'll throw out and we're not just talking about objects in supposed space. Look at and I know you haven't seen it yet, the end of the documentary where Jaron muffed. They showed Jaron muffing the experiment, the laser experiment. By the time people got there, because most of the people in the audience still aren't three-dimensional thinkers. By the time he got there, they had no idea what was happening. It's like, oh, judging by Jaren's reaction, something went wrong, but you didn't know what exactly. You had no freaking idea. If you weren't a hard, you would get it because you've got that mindset. Kind of like, do you remember the movie? I have to use the movie reference, of course. Do you remember the movie Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd?
Yes.
Okay. Remember the ending where they cornered the stock market? Kind of.
Yes.
Where they bought low and sold high, and cornered the market. That's well. The point is, and I didn't know at the time. I was young, right? I was in freaking high school, or not even high school, junior high school. But the point is that most of the people in the audience had no idea what was going on. They were just basing their reactions on the characters being happy or sad and people around it. They didn't understand the stock market that was happening there. Right. So sort of like what happened, so again, when circle back around here to the reason why it didn't really matter to me as far as if the shadow was going west to east or east to west is because most people didn't get it. It was not going to get, and I was more impressed that science advisors for a major newspaper still didn't get it, and they had to go to NASA, and the way he explained it was so convoluted. It wasn't as simple as what you said. They should have had you, to be honest.
Maybe they should have.
They should have. If anyone haven't figured out who this is, by the way, this is Karen B from YouTube channel Karen B, and who I think will give a wonderful speech at the Flat Earth Conference coming up in November. Although I think they already told me yours is canceled now because of the debate.
Oh, okay, that's too bad.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I don't think anybody's getting canceled. I think, but it's going to be weird because now, you remember Rob Skiba was supposed to open this thing. Well, you can't open this thing with the debate. That's prime time. Right. You can't open it with that. Who's going to follow that?
Oh, so maybe stuff's going to get rearranged now.
Yeah.
Well, they don't even know that Robert Sungenis is going because there's a GoFundMe. Did you see that? I sent you the link. There's
right. There is a GoFundMe to fly.
Raise money.
But I think he's going to fly out anyway. Even I think the GoFundMe, it'd be great if we have a GoFundMe. I don't think the deal's off if we don't get the GoFundMe thing. But I don't know that for sure.
Okay. Well,
so Robbie will be able to clarify. But I think look, if it was me, Robert has been soliciting a lot of people regarding this, and I have gotten several emails from him because he wanted me to comment on his book, Flat Earth, Flat Wrong. And I wasn't going to do it. I was going to take that bait. So if he got an invitation to debate Rob Skiba on stage at the Flat Earth Conference, heck, he should be paying to be there. It's that great an opportunity for him. Seriously. What a better, we already said, we're probably not going to. By the way, there you go. We're not going to do debates, at the conference. And then somebody very interesting shows up. It's like, oh, okay, we'll debate you. Okay, fine. Bend the rules. What do you like about gravity? Do you have an opinion?
Well, like what you were talking about, it's like the geostatic potential. The Earth is negatively charged, and the atmosphere is positively charged, and
in the software world, we call it a physics engine. We have inertia modulators and gravity wells, and we can do whatever you want. But then we're kind of delving into simulations, and so people say, "Oh, don't talk about simulations." I'm going, well, it doesn't really matter because even if it was, even if somebody pinned me down and said, "Do you think it's a simulation?" I said yes. The first thing I would say is, yeah, but it still has to have a shape. Even if it's a simulation, it still has to be built with a shape. And all 99, in fact, it helps us. 99% of all simulations are built flat. Plain and simple. I was in the industry. I can tell you, it's because developers are lazy. It's like, we got to develop, it's got to be flat. And mostly because the characters would never know the difference. As long as you build it big enough, if that sounds familiar, it should. If you build it big enough, the characters are never going to know the difference. So if they don't know the difference, why would you make it harder on yourself? But then you get into the whole, is God lazy, which is a whole nother conversation for another time. Anyway, we'll talk after. You going to the after thing? All right. Just want to make sure. That way I don't feel bad about cutting you off. We've got other callers, Karen. It'd be nice to talk to you all night, but there's people ahead of you, behind you, and stuff. So,
right, well,
any shout outs?
Go ahead and make room for somebody else. else. Yeah, shout out to 24/7 Flat Earth Discord. Google that and join it.
I
8,000 members and counting.
Really?
Yeah.
Biggest
Biggest Flat Earth server on Discord.
I should probably cave in.
24/7.
All right. I'll see what I can do. Wait, does Peanut Gallery have anything for you? Oh, he does. This is bad. People who say it cannot be done should not interrupt those who are doing it. That's from George Bernard Shaw.
That's right.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, and for those who don't know, yeah, it's Karen B from the hit movie Clear and Pleasant Stranger. Oh, that's some of your.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah, those 90s titles. Whew. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, on that note. We'll see you, Karen.
All righty then. All right,
Bye-bye.
talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, let's jump over to who are we going to grab next? We're all over the place here. 802. There's a lot of calls. 802. You're on with Strange World. I haven't picked you up yet, right?
Hello?
That's a great response. Hello, you're talking to me, Mark Sargent. This is not a recording.
Yes, but I did unmute, okay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I can. If I'm talking to you, yes, you're unmuted.
Well, I called in just to, like...
oh, you just called in to listen?
Say something... No, to say something silly about, like, you know, when you watch old movies and you see, like, flat Earth stuff?
Yeah.
But then I was listening to the conversations. I was like, oh, my God. Now my brain is like...
So I'm sorry. How long have you been into this topic?
May of 2017.
Oh, okay. So a year and a half, roughly. That's not bad. You're doing good.
Well, my Nikon P1000 arrives tomorrow, so I'm full in.
Well, aren't we, Mr. Fancy Pants? P1000.
Yeah, I know.
It's pretty. That's as Karen B would like to mention. That's a G you're throwing down there. That's 10 bills.
I know.
I heard it's worth it. I mean, I've seen the early things that people have been posting online, and the resolution is amazing. So I hope I get to shoot some good stuff.
Well, I've got to 900, and that was amazing.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's one thing to, like, you know, it's tangible. Like, I've seen pictures of the moon. We all have, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you do it yourself, it's like the moon, like, will turn clockwise and counterclockwise within 24 hours. It's like, what the hell?
Right.
Anyway, so that's cool. The first thing I bought was the laser temperature gun to measure moonlight temperature.
Right on. Any
Well, anywho.
anything else?
Well, I was watching Mars Attacks.
I remember that movie. Yeah.
I love that movie. It's silly. Everyone dies.
Everybody dies. Yeah.
But there's a AE map in it. There's like the War Room with Jack Nicholson.
Yep.
And like behind him is the like Magruder map, what I call it.
Magruder. Mercator.
Magruder. I know, but Magruber.
Okay, Magruber. From The Simpsons.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But on the floor, it's a brightly lit AE map. I'm like, holy crap, I never noticed that before.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is like Dr. Strangelove, because that's what that whole scene mimics. And so I watched Dr. Strangelove. And guess what?
They have an AE map too.
Everywhere.
Yeah. And of course, who directed Dr. Strangelove?
Yeah, I know.
Well, what? You're not impressed? Come on, that's what put him on the map.
Anywho,
you seem like, oh yeah, I don't want to talk about that guy anymore. All right, that's fine.
Oh, I could go into The Shining and all that crap.
Oh yeah. Room 237. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho, I just wanted to like point out the fact that that's not the only thing. Like, I notice other things now,
Sure.
like old TV shows and movies, and it's like, oh, AEMAP. Why is that in the classroom in this scene? And I become more observant. It's like, oh, wow.
Yeah,
Look,
you start looking for it everywhere. Absolutely, your ears are cured to it as well. You listen for things, and people that mention, flat Earth or round Earth or globe, you hear those words, globe, Earth, sphere, all the time.
Yeah, it's been in front of my eyes this whole time, all of our eyes.
Right.
And that's the whole thing about like why we all get like pissed off about it, and then it's all right. And I've been trying to start a flat Earth meetup locally, and the emails I get are, "You mindless fucking idiot." Now that's air quotes right there. And I don't know what to do, but yesterday I got a response, and I used that Einstein quote about
condemnation without investigation is the height of ignorance. Yeah.
Right. So then I got a positive one. He goes, I'm a round Earth's believer. No, right off.
Right.
Round. Okay, whatever. And I think we're gonna have lunch.
Nice. That's awesome.
It's my first connection with someone who's like into it. So anyway, I don't mean to like go off. You got other callers.
I do have other callers. I'd love to talk, but gotta give equal time if I can.
Yeah, and I'll give you an update.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah, let me know.
I mean, it's Vermont. I don't know why. Like Vermont, like the most progressive, hippie, sanctuary.
Right.
At least that's what people, think of us.
Yeah, it's the coolest club that most people have never heard of.
Yeah, but you say flat Earth, and then it's like, oh, you fucking mindless idiot.
Right.
Okay. Whatever.
Right. All right. Well, hey, you have a good rest of your evening, okay?
You too, and thanks for taking my call.
All righty. See ya. Okay, let's jump over to 910 area code. 910. You're on with Strange World.
What's up, man?
Hey.
Little.
What is crack-a-lackin'? How's that? I got that much street cred, which isn't a lot.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So why don't we do a show like on how to build your own telescope?
Build your own
Let's have some
telescope.
flat earthers. Yeah, like build some.
That's an interesting idea, but do you know it would cost more to build your own telescope than just to buy a digital zoom? I mean, heck, P900s are going to be going for basement prices here pretty soon.
Well, what about the P900? Do you think makes it so?
What's so great? It's the digital zoom. It's got an 83 power zoom on it. That's lots of with electronics, whether it's television or cameras or what have you, it's all about the features. And some, you can't have everything. It's not everything is a Swiss Army knife. But with the Nikon P900, they jammed everything. It's like, we think that people are going to be interested in zooming into really far away targets, which is kind of silly.
Is the zooming in? I'm ignorant to this type of thing. So is the zooming in and the magnifying of what you're seeing?
Right.
Is that the electronics doing that, or is that the lens?
It's a combination of both. So, but the electronics is what really helps. I mean, it's HD digital zoom, and I think Karen B could probably help me out on this since she has a P900, and I don't want to completely misquote the features of this thing. Plus, I don't have the specs up in front of me. But the Peanut Gallery's chiming in now. He's saying the P1000 is optical, not digital. Oh, I didn't know that. The P900 is totally digital. So that's what's really changed the game. That without that, really, flat Earth wouldn't be nearly as big as it is now. Because what before happened is you could zoom in on something on the horizon, but the resolution would be trash. And so it would just be this mess, right? But now with HD, with the better resolution, it's a lot crisper. And so you can, it's like, beforehand, you couldn't even tell it was a boat. And now versus an oil rig or something like that. And now it's much, much better. In fact, hang on, they're giving me more details. P1000, yeah, the P1000 has 125x optical zoom. Anyway, the point is, that
I would love to see that thing, you know, on a go fast rocket, you know, pointed right at the moon, full moon, nighttime. That would be awesome.
It'd be tough to put a P900 on the side of one of those things. You wouldn't need, I mean, you could put a 4K camera on there and it'd be probably pretty close. But then again, if you're going up, you're going to lose perspective. That's the tough part about going up, is that even Go ahead. Go ahead.
I had a couple more things I just wanted to
Shoot.
get them out real quick.
Shoot. What do you got?
Okay, so I really think we need to build some big monster telescopes. But anyway, have you ever heard the Hebrew definition for north?
Is it, and I'm going to cheat here because I actually listened to the show before this one, which was Paul on the plane. Is it key?
It's hidden place. I'm not sure where I've seen the word key from.
But hidden place
or dark place or a place of treasure.
Sure.
So I thought that was very interesting.
That is very interesting.
But
Go ahead.
I do think we need to make some monster, you know, telescopes and look more into, you know, how they're made and different ways you could make them.
I think you're right. I think it'll have to be a hybrid though of lenses and technology, because we've got some great telescopes out there now. The only thing is, up until recently, we've been pointing them up instead of pointing them sideways. And the long distance, if you haven't looked already, by the way, check out world record long distance photography. That's some fascinating stuff. And that's not even us. Yeah. That's the guys, because the air gets thinner when you get up higher, and so you can see farther. Not just because you're higher, but because the air is thinner. You got to remind this to all you globalists that might be listening. You're only it's only 99% transparent, everything in your room right now. 99%. So and that 1% keeps stacking up. So anyway, anything else?
That's right. So hailstones. So could a hailstone get to the size of 100 pounds?
Oh, you mean like in Revelation?
I know. Yeah, I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about all the.
I don't know if, and depending on, because I remember that as a child reading that in Revelation. It's like, that's a spooky thing, because there is 99% of all homes wouldn't be able to withstand any of that.
And if you think of I'm just thinking, if the dome is made up of, I don't know what it's made up of. Go ahead.
I mean, if it's made of like a heavy element, a heavy water, yeah. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff that could happen up there that could fall down and quit. And how would they describe it? If you saw a vision of this, it's like, oh, it's hailstones, and they're really, really big. So maybe. I mean, but yeah, that's a lot of water. That's a lot of moisture. That's not from clouds. You're not going to get 100-pound hailstones from any clouds that we know. That's from something else.
And so, what's going to keep the waters above when the scroll is rolled up, like the firmament is supposed to be rolled up like a scroll?
Hopefully the Creator's mercy at that point. I would like to think that the rainbow promise means something. So I would hope that we don't do that whole Noah thing over again. Anyway, I hate to do this to you, but I want to grab one more call before the break, okay?
Let's go ahead, man. Thanks.
All right, talk to you later. All right, let's jump over to 704 area code. 704, I got you for 3 minutes before the last break.
Well, hey.
Hey. Did I already talk to you this evening?
No, you have. You don't know who this is?
Good Lord. I didn't even look at the state.
God.
I didn't even look at the state.
No, I can't. I'm going to have to call back because something's wrong. You must be
look at this. Hey, why would I? Okay, first of all, that name is not you.
You don't know my voice. I know that. I didn't know my name comes up.
How often do your name doesn't come up? The town threw me a little bit.
It has been a long time.
It has been a long time. We don't talk that often, and when you do the post show, you're not really talking that much. You're just kind of in the background listening most of the time.
That's because I can never get in. So it's full now. That's what I just told you. It's been like 5 or 6 weeks I've been trying to get in.
Really? Well, make sure make sure he lets you in. Mark,
I'm kicking somebody out tonight. I don't give shit.
Yeah. That's the Candy I remember. All right. Yeah. Absolutely. What else is going on? Are you calling in just to make sure you can get into the post? Is that what you're doing?
Oh no, I'm getting in regardless. But that picture that I just sent you,
Yes.
it wasn't in my underwear, by the way. My underwear
Okay.
was,
I mean,
that's black on it.
leopard print next to it, and it's like, okay.
Oh, that's my notebook.
Okay, leopard print, snow, and it's like, so what's that from?
That is my notebook. Just to clear that up. But the black on the paper is thermal paper. That's why it looks black like that. I found that today. I was organizing some papers. That is the very first time I wrote down your phone number and called you.
Oh, and you
I found that like a year ago. I don't even know how, because I sent you this picture like a year ago when I found it in my old house. And I guess it got mixed back up with papers. I might as well put it in the book now, the Flat Earth Clues book. I'm going to tape it to the cover.
Oh, that's so nice. I am touched that you saved that.
But it got me, it reminded me, and then when you said to Wes, you haven't said that to him in a long time about the Blair Witch Project.
Right.
Do you remember me and Mark's first live stream ever?
It was painful beyond measure. Yes.
Oh,
by the way,
my God. And they came and sniped us.
30 seconds before we go to break. Shout outs. And then I'll talk.
Well, that's all I really had to say.
That's it? That's it? Well, no, don't waste your shout out. Don't you want to say hi to anybody?
Shout out to everybody who's keeping it flat out there. I love all you guys.
Right on, right on, right on. Oh, quote of the day. Quick, I got like seconds. All I really need is love, but a little candy now and then doesn't hurt. That's from Charles Schultz. The Peanuts. That's kind of weird.
Charles Schultz like that? Oh, that's cool.
All right, hey.
Later.
We'll talk later.
His face is in the muck. I think his zipper's stuck.
We are TFR.
My faith in destiny is all I need to prevail.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 4 of 4. Yes, that was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album, Night and Day. Okay, we're doing calls, 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. Your last chance to call in and say your piece. So let's go to 310 area code. We're going to try it 310. Are you there? Are you listening? Are you on mute, or are you just kind of calling in and letting it run? I use the line from Platoon. Key your handset twice if you can hear me, son. Let's go down to, we're going to do 815. They're doing 845. So 815. You're on with Strange World. Hopefully you don't have your mute button on.
Are you on?
Can
you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm on Route 5 heading towards LA from Santa Monica, man. Or no, Santa Cruz, actually. Not Santa Cruz, San Francisco. Whatever, I don't know where the hell I am.
Whatever, yeah, just
You
drive.
remember me? Davey Schmidt, the truck driver?
I will say.
High haul cars?
I will. Yeah. Oh, holy smokes! Didn't you send me a postcard recently?
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah. From Nevada. It was kind of an odd one. Go ahead. What you got?
Good question. Do you like to go back in time?
I love time travel. Why?
Okay, no, not like that. Just that. So anyway, do you like people to come knock on your door and say hello?
Why? You're not actually outside the door, right? Why? What's up?
No, I'm just curious. No,
do I mind? No, well, I mean, you got to give me a little. give me a little notice. If anyone's going to drop by, and I mean that because I don't know, there's sometimes I'm not around, and I don't want to miss you because it's not like a swing by place. It's up on an island, so it's not like just a little casual drive. I mean, you got to get on a ferry and then come over, and then there's like a horse buggy and a 3-hour mountain climb, and then you have to go through this cave, and then finally I'm sitting here at the end with a computer. So
that's all right though.
Yeah.
I'm Dave Schmidt. I drive for a living.
I'm
actually, believe it or not, I do part-time car hauling, take cars to the East Coast, come back to Chicago, and then I just started my new company. That's what it's called. It's going to blow you away.
What is it?
Flat Earthers LLC. Flat Earthers LLC.
Flat Earthers LLC, and that's a trucking company?
Yep.
That's right on. Good for you.
I can't wait. I'm waiting for the paperwork to finish it. The stupid government takes forever.
It does.
Question for you. Why ain't you looking at the full moon? Well, the full moon was yesterday, but why aren't you looking at the moon right now? I am.
Well,
everybody's talking about the moon. Why ain't everybody looking at it?
Why isn't it? Because, okay, one, I'm doing a show, and I can't, I mean, I suppose I could do my show outside. That might be a little weird. But since the moonlight generates I might.
Question.
What?
What's weird? The normal people are the ones that are weirdos. The weird ones are the normal people because why? They don't do the same thing day in and day out.
Yeah, you know, this is why
The same people do the same thing expecting a different result. I do different things every day, getting all different kinds of results.
Yeah. Nice.
Nice. So anyways, yeah, I'll call you before I come up there, but I'll get a load up there eventually.
Oh, yeah,
I haul everything and anything with a pickup truck and a small trailer on the side. Pretty cool.
Whoa. Cool, man.
Wow. Can you get a pickup truck on a ferry?
Yeah. You can get a pickup truck and look, it's a big ferry. You can, in fact, it's one of the one on this is the biggest in the fleet. You can put multiple semis on that thing. It's huge.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right. I'll give you an update before I come up.
Yeah, let me know. I'd be happy to see you.
Picture from Arizona? What was the
You sent me a picture for several things. The postcard was a nice twist. But thank you for everything you've sent me so far.
Yeah, did you see the accident? I think I sent
Yeah,
that too, didn't
I did see the accident. I'm glad you're okay. I was a little worried.
Yeah, me and my son. Yeah, I'm actually in my other pickup truck driving right now down I-5. Picking up, I got a motorcycle on right now going to Missouri, and I got to go pick up the heck it's called, golf cart in Arizona going out back to Chicago.
Wow.
I get around.
Yeah, you do get around.
It's real flat out here, you know?
It is flat. It's really weird. Thank you.
I can't understand, man. Actually, get this. Yesterday, I was in Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get up to get the motorcycle on time.
Yeah.
So I went down and went on a pier. See, in California, you can fish for free on a pier. You don't need a fishing license.
Right.
So I asked this old lady, I started bringing up the moon and how the full moon. Believe it or not, get this. This old lady said she was never taught that the sun's light came from the moon's light came from the sun. It was its own light. I said, no way. I said, who taught you that? She's like, that's what I learned. I said, that's not what I was taught.
Yeah,
that was the freakiest weird thing I ever heard of.
That is weird. Huh. All right.
I don't know where that came from, but anyhow, will you go enjoy your night?
I will,
I'll send you an email when I'm shooting up that way.
Okay, yeah, send me an email and keep me posted on what's happening out there, okay?
Will do.
Okay, talk to you soon.
Mark.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yep. See ya.
Okay, let's jump over to, let's see, it's 8:45, which means start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I took a drink of wine there. I want to be a part of it.
New York.
There you go. Excellent.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
We can
These
take that
vagabond shoes.
These vagabond shoes. I know. We're going to have to do that. Hang on, I want to open with a quote because it's kind of long from Peanut Gallery.
Okay.
He says, "Everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. This right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas through any media and regardless of frontiers." What? That's from the United Nations?
That's a little scary, right? What the hell?
Anyway, what's happening, man?
Not much. Hanging out. Crappy day. They must have sprayed or something yesterday because it's been raining and nasty and cold. Horrible. Man, you've had some great callers tonight, by the way.
Thank you.
Loving the show.
I'm not going to take credit for them. They're just great people out there. The Flat Earth community just keeps getting better and better. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely. Well, you got half the credit. You're one part of the conversation.
And by the way, I have to mention to you, because I know you said on occasion, and you'll probably tell me after the show, it's like, you said, I can't wait to see a documentary. And I'm going, you know what? I think you're going to hate it too, because you're in so deep. I mean, seriously, no, I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm saying that it is again, it's an honest, brutal look at what we were doing last year. All our flaws, especially our dysfunctional family. And the more look at you remember Caroline. Caroline was like getting worked up about it, and Uber Josh getting all worked up about it, and Sydney actually yelling at the crowd once the movie ended. And these are all Flat Earth cheerleaders, hardcore members, and I don't blame them. I don't, and it's
love them all.
And it's like, and after a while they calm down. It's like, okay, I understand what's going on, but I really want to be like this. And it's like, I know you do. We're not there. Again, the analogy I came up with today.
It's not our movie.
It's not. It's not just that. It's not our. Yeah, it's not our movie, and it's not a victory movie. It is. This is what's at. It is really for anyone on the street to say, okay, in case you missed it, here's what's happening out there, in the world of social media, and it's not small, and and it's very, very diverse. And these people are, of course they took shots, here and there, but for the most part, everybody was painted. It's like, look, these are kind of like you could have flat earthers living next door to you right now, but not like communism or anything like that. They weren't painting us along those lines. They were just saying that, that's
right.
for it. So anyway, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say it could have been a documentary on people that put rhinestones on their denim jackets. It really wasn't that they would, that it. I just get frustrated because people are upset, and it's like, don't be, give it time. This is the beginning. They're just starting to talk about it.
It's not really a bad upset. The Flat Earthers, it's kind of like you're getting ready for a football game with a rival, where all of a sudden you're watching. It's like, I hate them so much. You want to go out and start mashing on globalists. You want to tear into them.
Right.
You really, really do. I mean,
I hear you.
But it's not, it's not inciting a riot or anything like that. I remember because, Daniel and Caroline and Nick and all the people who were involved in the film, they're globalists, but they're not scientists. Anyone that says, I'm not kidding, you know what I'm talking about. It's like, look, this isn't a hit piece.
Yeah, he was in my car. He was just a regular dude, doing his thing, making movies.
Yeah.
When we drove there. Yeah, you're right.
The hit pieces will come. No question. In fact, if Bill Nye had half a brain, he would get his agent, and they would make a hit piece documentary where he starred, and he comes to the In fact, it would not surprise me if a hostile documentary showed up at the conference in Denver. Would not surprise me.
Interesting.
I would. I mean, jump on that bandwagon. Are you kidding? We've got a heck of a train running, and people, you've seen all the channels. These monstrous, biggest channels in YouTube have jumped all over this thing, and at least once or twice. And so now we have to see where it goes. But I'll let everybody know as soon as we hit distribution. And I don't know. I don't think it's going to be released before the conference, but you never know.
I feel that the Shane Dawson thing is promising.
Oh yeah. The follow up to that with Jared and his team. Oh yeah, we're still waiting. Think of the things we're waiting for right now. We're waiting for the Shane Dawson sequel, Shane Dawson Jared sequel. We're waiting for National Geographic, that whole dog and pony show, which was shot a few months back. And then plus the follow-ups, the documentaries that are being made are in the works by all these other guys, and no one wants to miss production value So anybody is going to show up at Denver because they, it's pennies on the dollar. It's like all these flat earthers in one place. Get the cameras.
Yeah, no doubt. I warned Nathaniel today. I said, look, in case you get shoulder tapped and somebody wants to do an interview with you, make sure that you have another party videotape it so that you have record of what you said and how you said it.
Right.
Because you don't want anyone to turn your shit around.
Right.
Or
at least, you can see what
how
you
easy
missed.
it is to do that.
Like with Rob Skiba, when he recorded 40 minutes with that lady from ABC, and she only used 3. But he had the rest of it recorded. So it's like, this is what the interview was. Now, did she splice it up and make him look weird? No, of course not. But it's always good and so easy. Just have somebody turn on their freaking video and, have them record over the shoulder.
Keeps them honest.
I don't know if it keeps them honest as much as it's there. Because remember, a lot of the
tone.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're going to be rude right to your face if someone else is watching too. That look over the shoulder. That I mean, maybe you're right. They are professionals, and that's their job to be, whatever, producing whatever they're told to produce. I get it, but I think it just gives that little bit extra. Hey, let me not immediately insult this guy.
Let me I want to bring in somebody really, really quick. Sorry, I hate to do this last minute, but this was a request, and I don't know. I don't see this person. Are they picking up? Can you hear me, person?
Yeah, I was actually on the line on hold. I thought you were just going to pick up the call.
Hello, person.
No, I'm adding you through this. That way, there's no delay between us.
I love this person.
I love you too. Just like old times. I just got reminded of Mark. I don't know if I ever told you, but I had to say this tonight. That speech that you gave in Canada. Oh my God. I swear I listened to it 3 times in a row and I cried like a baby the whole entire time. Every stupid thing that you said over the last 3 years got wiped away.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
All right.
Holy crap.
That's fine. A backhanded compliment. I'll take it.
You know that I had to say that with it.
I know.
I can't just go being nice all the way. No, really, I said that too while I was crying. Everything he said stupid. It's all done. Stupid.
That's great.
So sweet. Thank you. It was really I got to tell you, when I wrote it, I was kind of in an emotional state more than usual, because I was kind of angry and kind of like, I want everybody to do well, and I want to set a good example. And so it's, what, I'm just gonna put myself out there, and if science comes at me with baseball bats, so be it. But I might as well walk the walk in this case. So yeah, that's what I did. But thank you so much for that.
And Mark, I loved it too.
And I you know what? I'm not going to choose between you two because it's completely different. It's apples and oranges. So you know what I mean? Kind of like, metaphorically, apples.
I'm just gonna go ahead and walk away from that one. At least you didn't say apples and bananas. But...
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm trying to walk away from it.
But thank you, Candy. I honestly, it means a lot, and I'm hoping I'm writing a different one, slightly different for the Denver conference, because then I'm going to read before my Q&A, and I'm trying to do a little bit different twist on it, but it's going to be very similar.
Cool.
So get your Kleenex ready.
Nice. Hey, I got a quote for you real quick.
A quote for who? Candy or me?
For everyone.
Okay.
For everyone. This one is for everyone.
Okay.
Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. And I was Warren Buffett, and I think it represents, hey, it takes time. We have to plant the tree, plant the seed. You're always talking about planting that seed.
Right.
And it's getting there. It's growing. It might be a sapling, but we have to nurture it and, hold ourselves higher than everyone else and not be, asses like the bad guys and just keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah,
It'll happen.
I absolutely agree with you. And I've been kind of mixing the two because some people, they when they plant the seed, they kind of want to stick around for it. And it's like, look, it's like watching paint dry. Again, think of it like a cherry bomb.
Yeah.
You light the
I know
fuse,
it's tough.
and then you
The last-
walk. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Candy.
The last 7 people I've met were flat earthers, and I only brought it up to one of them.
I should tell a story, and I'm not going to be able to do it justice. And I know Sydney doesn't necessarily listen to the show, but there was something really interesting because I believe anyone that knows me knows I believe in the balance. That the world tends to balance itself out, and it's a zero-sum game. And Sydney went to the movie, and she got so worked up, she actually screamed out at the end, like yelling at the audience like a mad woman. And she goes to a fast food place with Uber Josh, right? If you've heard this,
I heard her tell it.
Right? And they walk up, and one of them, I can't remember if it was Sydney that was wearing the Flat Earth T-shirt or Josh or whatever, but the girl behind the counter, the cashier, she looks at him, and she just hands them the drink without paying, and says, "Yeah, don't worry about it." And it's like that's straight out of Fight Club. Which is
nice. She was like, "That's like Mark Sargent at the airport."
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
freaking awesome.
There's people out there. I mean, all you have to do is wear and it's going to happen. If you're wearing whatever it is, or you're talking about it or whatever, there's people in every city and every state that they're members. That it's just quiet. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better Fight Club reference to that. Like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We have people everywhere.
So she was vindicated.
People everywhere.
Which was she got it. Now, granted, she made a rant video against the movie, going against the producer and the director. But that night, she got to sleep at least a little easier, hopefully, because she realized that they were out there.
I can't wait to see that video of her yelling in the theater.
Did somebody record it?
Yes.
Well,
I have to see it too.
Thank God. Initially I was worried because there was going to be a Q&A, and then there wasn't a Q&A for this particular showing. And because I think we had less than 10 people in the theater, which was weird, but it was sold out. Those people could have come after the director. I could see Sydney just laying into him, and Daniel, in defense of Daniel, is like, "Look, it's not your movie. I'm not a flat earther. I'm gonna make my movie." And it's like, yeah, I know. I was there. I watched you do it. Anyway, so
here's a quote that kind of goes along with us picking up this first flow and then the rest of the people catching on.
What?
Destiny comes to those who listen, and fate finds the rest.
It's good. Good.
I don't know who said it.
Who said it?
Because I heard it the other day. I don't know. I heard somebody say it the other day, and I never looked it up.
I think that when people come at you, if anyone lashes into you with any sort of aggressiveness, and most of the time it hasn't been. We've done a couple hundred meetups now, and conferences in 4 different countries, and we are 5 if you count. Was it Pakistan or Afghanistan or wherever that last one was? I didn't even know.
Well,
really, they did one there.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry, they have one in Australia. They have one in the UK. They have one in Canada. One in the United States. One in Spain. That's 7.
Oh, I didn't catch the Spain one. So okay.
Yeah, they had a huge one in Spain. It was like 300 people there. They said.
Australia, UK, Spain, Canada, U.S., South Korea, and other.
That's 8.
Yeah, so that's a lot.
And one of the stands. Seriously, Pakistan or Afghanistan or something?
I can't remember. Somebody just announced it today. It's like, oh yeah, because remember, we don't have a committee. It's out there. It's not like I have to authorize things. People just go off and do their own stuff, and it's amazing what they're doing. We keep forgetting that in the United States,
they did it without getting clearance from the Home Office.
And you guys, these people that I've met that were flat earthers, none of them watched any of the YouTube videos. The last flat earther that I met, it was Hurricane Florence, and he pointed at his phone and he said, "Do you guys believe in that?" And it was me and my friend JT, who's also a flat earther. And I said, "What, that globe, that curve?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I said, "No, that's fake." And he's like, "Oh my God, really? Me too. I know that's flat, blah, blah, blah." But these people, the only person, like he showed me his YouTube history, the only person that he had been watching was Robbie Davidson. That's it.
Wow. Yeah,
The
yeah.
rest of them didn't even know who you were.
We're kind of seeing this delay. So thanks. Most of this, no, and I don't mind. I mean, look, my channel, I still don't have 100,000 subs, and there's people out there with massive channels. We're seeing this.
But
thing
my point is, they're not on YouTube. Imagine how many more there are like that.
Yeah, there's tons at this point. We've created so much content that has been downloaded and shot off to different places and of course the headlines, the media has been helping us now to where, it this kind of delayed effect where all these other people know and all these other nations. It's all over the place. I mean, the Russia Today article that came out, we got 3 minutes till the show ends, so you guys might as well stay. The Russia Today, no, it's okay, article that came out where they asked people, what do you think about the Earth being flat? They were following the U.gov survey, and I think in Russia alone it was 3%. And remember that's just the ones that are admitting it, because they're afraid something might happen, admitting it. And 3% of the Russians, that's 4 million people right there. That's just Russia, right? That's just one country. Compared to the U.gov, and we've got the massive presence in Indonesia. Europe's really big. Australia, New Zealand's really big. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys, New Zealand. I forgot about your conference down there because it was set in a bar. But you know what? I would expect
was in New Zealand too. Jeez.
Yeah, well, Australia didn't really have one. It was New Zealand that had one.
I only remembered it because of that guy, the track guy that we met.
Australia wanted to do it, but New Zealand ended up doing it. And I came in through Skype on a big screen, which must have been frightening. Terrifying, actually. And then Dave Murphy did the same thing. Dave Murphy also came in through that one. They had it in a pub, so everybody had these huge mugs of beer. I thought, you know what? Why not? That's a great conference. They can have it in a pub. Why?
Yeah,
what
on formal.
And I, since I was so huge on the screen, I'd be yelling down. I was like, "Hello, little hobbits."
Are you upside down?
You don't look upside down to me.
Exactly.
Weird.
Anywho, what else, Mark, did you have in mind as you've got a minute till we close out? Mark.
Sorry, I come and intercepted your call, Mark.
What happened to Mark? His phone died. He's
Mark
gone.
Always has awesome connection, just like me.
He's got. Well, it's just you and me now. Can everyone still hear us?
Think we're alone.
Really? Was that Debbie Gibson or Tiffany?
I think it was Debbie Gibson.
I think it was Debbie Gibson.
But it could have been. Now that you mentioned, I would have said Debbie Gibson, but now that you say Tiffany, I'm really not sure.
Oh, so Peanut Gallery wants me to plug stuff. Okay, enclosedworld.com. Check that out if you get a chance. FE2018.com for the conference. I'm going to be on tomorrow's show with Patricia Steer on Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes. What else should I plug? Peanut Gallery. What else do you want me to? The Behind the Curve film.com. Check it out. Even though the Flat Earthers are going to hate it, but the globalists, we will gain massive new membership because of it. And let's see, Funk, Zulu's dropped, but everybody else can still hear me, hopefully. And always wear pants if you're in a documentary. Yeah, Peter, oh crap, going to music. Hey, come back next week, same flat time, same flat channel. Say goodbye, Candy.
Bye, Candy. Bye, everyone.